Did you observe how he tried to prevent the police officer from entering the flat and then walked away in a suspicious manner? Once he was unsuccessful, it turned out that he was actually up to no good. And despite the fact that the trial has already made it so that we expect this kind of move from Amber's people, trust me when I say that this is going overboard even for Amber's team. Hello everyone, and welcome to another video. Today we'll be looking at Amber's friend tries to stop the FBI from entering her flat. Yeah, you heard it right. During the course of the trial that Johnny Depp was involved in with his ex-wife, Amber, the actor claimed that Amber and her pals had practically planned to lie against him. This whole thing could have been written off as a mere discussion of video footage corroborating what he claimed if the videotape confirming what he said hadn't got out in the first place. On the other hand, Johnny Depp shared this knowledge while the trial was still going on. That was a scenario that played out when a police officer responded to a domestic violence incident at Johnny Depp's residence, but he was welcomed by Joshua Drew, who had been one of Johnny Depp and Amber Heard's neighbors in circa 2016 when the former couple lived in the Eastern Columbia building penthouse. Depp and Heard had been accused of assaulting one another at the time. Even though it is common protocol for a police officer to inspect the scene after being called about any incident involving physical assault, Drew made a concerted effort to prevent the officer's admission into the apartment. This is despite the fact that it was Drew's responsibility to do so. Even though all of this had already been discussed during the trial, the video just made its way onto social media, further validating the claims that were stated by the officer during the trial in great detail. Even though all of this had already been discussed during the trial, the video just made its way onto social media. When asked about the incident that took place in 2016, in which Amber claimed that the police were called because Johnny had thrown a phone at her face, Officer Tyler Hadid at Los Angeles Police Department stated that Amber and her friends intentionally tried to impede his and his partner's jobs. The statement was made in response to a question about the incident that took place in 2016. This explains why Josh Drew was attempting to stop them from entering the building by preventing them from doing so. Hadid told the council that the witnesses who were now inside the facility, including Heard, were being uncooperative and refusing to provide any information. Hadid failed to convey the fact that Heard refused medical treatment and did not want an accident report to be written. In addition, according to Hadid, Heard did not sustain any injuries, and when asked about the redness on his face, Hadid indicated that it appeared to be from crying until he was pressed about it. In addition, the officer indicated that he reported the event as a verbal quarrel because there were no obvious signs that a crime had been committed during the altercation. Hadid's partner, Officer Melissa Sense, who was also questioned about the incident, presented a version of the events that was extremely comparable to Hadid's account of what happened. After being questioned by the attorneys regarding the red marks that were found on Heard's face, the officer searched 2 penthouses but did not find anything. As a result, I searched the area for the suspect after they indicated that they looked for it but did not find it. Reportedly, Heard was featured in sequences looking flush as if she had been crying and claimed that she did not notice any harm despite the fact that she didn't see any damage. They further informed the court that Heard and her companions were uncooperative during the investigation and refused to comply with the authorities. The fact that this just helps to further highlight how vicious Amber and her associates were about the charges that they made should not come as a surprise to anybody, because the problem has been the subject of an in-depth discussion on social media for quite some time now. One user stated that there were images of the crime scene that were subsequently released in tabloids, and that these photographs were obviously staged with a wicker basket of fruit strewn on the carpeting by the refrigerator. The user went on to say that the photographs were published on tabloids. On the other hand, you can see the exact same basket of fruit resting there unharmed atop the island counter in one of the 2 movies captured by the body cam. If the people were able to recognize it, then we'll have a better notion of how she means to spin it when it comes up in the appeal. It does not take a genius to figure out that at least some of what took place was an elaborate ruse, and if they do figure it out, then we will know for sure. So that's all from today's video. If you enjoyed it, remember to leave a like, subscribe, and ring that bell icon so that you never miss our upcoming videos. And don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments section below. Stay tuned, and we'll catch you in the next video.